Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant. Welcome back for more of Let's Play Pokémon SoulSilver. Last time, we spent a week setting up a rematch with every single gym leader we faced down in the entire game, from Falkner to Blue. Today, and at least for the next couple of videos, we're going to be rematching every last one of them, in the order in which they appear in the badge section up there that I can't see, so I hope I remember. And for each one of these rematches, not only are we going to be seeing full rosters of 6 from everybody, including Falkner, but they're going to have Pokemon from the other regions as well. This one, Staraptor, we've seen the... I don't know if we've seen Staraptor, we might have seen one of its pre-evolutions. But this is the normal flying type from the Sinnoh region, who I used in Diamond. Very convenient to have because it has close combat, which is a very powerful fighting type move, so it can deal with stuff like rock and steel types. Unfortunately for me, I forgot it led with that! But it looks like Krako was able to tank it well enough. As you can see, at least the ones from the Johto region are mainly going to be lower leveled than we are, which is why I wanted to get the Claire and Lance fight out of the way, because most of these aren't going to be up to our level quite yet. But when we get to the Kanto leader rematches, they're going to be closer to our level anyway. And it's so nice to hear the Johto gym leader music from the original games. It's so many nostalgic gasms over the course of this whole project. Oh, it's gonna be a while since I have the same kind of feeling for a game as I do for these. But Noctowl we've seen before. Pelipper I just breezed by, water flying type from the Hoenn region. 4 times weak to electric, like same typing as Gyarados. Noctowl does have fairly high special defense, unfortunately. Even that's not going to live up to a stab discharge from Krako here. Oh, it feels so nice to get back to this game again. It's been a while since I've played this game, to be honest with you. I've been really busy with a lot of other stuff I've been doing, and I'm hoping over the next couple of weeks I'll have some more downtime for this kind of thing so I can plan for future projects and whatnot. But you don't want to hear about that right now. Hodgecrow, it's been a while since we've seen you! I'm also not going to bother switching out for the sake of just bringing in somebody who hasn't had a chance to come out in a while, because we're going to be facing down 16 gym leaders, each specializing in a different type. And you have to figure everybody's going to get their moment in the sun at some point, so I'm just going all out with whoever I think is going to do the best job. And if the levels happen to be uneven at the end of this, I'll even them out off-screen. I'm not too concerned about that right now. Right now, I just want to show off all of the new Pokemon we can see here, like Swallow, who's the evolved form of Tailo, who we may or may not have run into earlier. And of course, his Pidgeotto has evolved into a Pidgeot. They all have their signature Pokemon from when you first face them. Like, for instance, Clara's still going to have her Kingdra, Mori's still going to have his Gengar, Misty's going to have her Starmie. Everyone's signature Pokemon are still going to be here for you to fight, which is pretty cool. But that does it for Falkner's rematch. And once you defeat them, they'll head out on their way. If you want to bring them back here, you just have to give them a phone call at the same time as we called them before. So I'll heal Krako up, and we'll get ready for the next fight. Against none other than Bugsy. You know, over all these years, I'm only now realizing just how strange his purple hair is. Caesar, the evolved form of Scyther. I don't know if we've seen a Caesar before, but it's Bug Steel type, 4 times weak to fire. He's another one of those really cool Pokemon I've always wanted to try using, but just never got around to it. That crit definitely mattered, by the way. Curious to see what other bug types he has here. Bugs? In the... No, I don't want to stay in here for the fighting type. In the original games, bug types and bug moves were fairly weak. It was nice when you finally get to the 5th generation games where they gave you... I don't know if I want to say super powerful bug types, but they certainly added another dimension to the bug type that was severely lacking in the previous games. That said, Heracross, he was one of the exceptions, where he's always been pretty darn good. But for the first time in this entire project, I can show off that there's actually gender differences between a couple of Pokemon. I've mentioned them before, but at least here with Heracross, you can see mine is a male, he has the pointy horn. Bugsy's is a female, it has the rounded horn. A lot of these really tiny details you just never notice unless you really look into them. And there's a much larger number of Pokemon that have gender differences in their graphical appearances than you would think. But now that HCB has finally grown to level 55, he wants to learn Mega Horn! Been waiting for a while to pick this one up. Bug-type move, 120 base power. The only problem with it is that it's only 85% accurate. Now, I'm thankful that I was able to use that 4-time super effective Aerial Ace on his Heracross here just so I could get one last use out of it. I mentioned in a previous video that even if Aerial Ace is super effective, close combat is going to be doing more in addition, because it has stab, whereas Aerial Ace, even though it would be doing twice as much as a super effective hit, it would still only be 120. Whereas close combat would be, 180 with stab? So I ultimately decided to get rid of Aerial Ace for Mega Horn. And more often than not, it's going to miss, but you know what? Just having a powerful bug-type move at all is going to be a tremendous help. Especially against Psychic types. I'm not sure how I feel about using him against Psychic types because he is part Fighting type, but we'll see how that goes later on. Yanmega is the 4th generation evolution of Yanma from this generation, who is extremely difficult to find. And I forget how it is that this thing evolves. I want to say it has to know a move like Ancient Power before it can evolve into Yanmega. But the thing this is known most for is Speed Boost, which raises its speed one stage at the end of each turn. I'm not sure if it was able to show it off then or not. I'm kind of confused why I was faster than it anyway. But Pinsir we've seen before. And Mold Breaker, another ability I haven't had a chance to explain. Mold Breaker nullifies any abilities that would otherwise reduce the damage that a specific type of attack would do, or say if you have Levitate, it would grant you immunity to ground-type moves. Mold Breaker would break through that, so you'd be able to be hit with ground-type moves. And Lupus at long last wants to learn Crunch! For the same reason I did not teach him Bite. Crunch is physical. Dark Pulse is special. Enough said. He still has his Vespiquen, though. Now, this is another interesting Pokemon. Do I want to switch things up here? I'm suddenly forgetting all of the moves that these guys have. I think I'll stick with Lupus. Vespiquen is the evolved form of a female Combee from the Sinnoh region. This thing is extremely defensive, and I had a lot of fun using it when I played through Platinum. It's very difficult to use a defensive Pokemon well in the regular games. I'm surprised that I actually killed it. But when used well, it can be a lot of fun. I do prefer the hyper-offensive strategies, though. But here, Shedinja. This is a very interesting Pokemon. When the Pokemon from the Hoenn region, Nincada, evolves, if you have an open slot in your party, in addition to Nincada evolving into Ninjask, it will also evolve into a Shedinja, which is like its shed skin, so this thing's dead. And I'm sure it has an interesting Pokedex entry I've never really looked into. But the ability Shedinja has, Wonder Guard, prevents it from being hit by any attacking moves that are not super effective against it. So you would think, okay, it's nearly impossible to hit this thing with anything. It's gotta be one of the most badass Pokemon ever. Shedinja only has 1 HP. And it never gains any more. So even at level 100, it'll die to Stealth Rock, it'll die to Burn, it'll die to Toxic, anything that can hit it for damage or any sort of damage outside of itself will kill it in one hit. And next up is Whitney. And if you thought it was fun to watch us beat her up last time, I went ahead and gave Close Combat 3 additional PP with the PP up, so assuming this Mega Horn doesn't miss, we're good to go here. Now if that's not a badass attack animation, I don't know what is. But Girafarig, being part Psychic type, is weak to Bug. It's one of the few weaknesses that thing has. Next up, everything else should go down to a Stab Black Belt boosted Close Combat, assuming that we outspeed the rest of these things. So I don't give a damn that we're going to be getting defense drops after we use this each time. But Licky Licky, I think we've seen before, is the evolution of Lickitung. Another one of those things that I think evolves based on knowing a certain move that it couldn't have known previously. I want to say Lickitung evolves when it learns Rollout. Don't quote me on that. But Clefable we've seen before. I love how people have so much difficulty defeating Whitney. How even though she's got normal types, and you think normal types, there isn't anything special about them. I mean, sure, they can learn a bunch of moves that a lot of other Pokemon can't learn. They have very wide move pools. But particularly this Miltank, people dread, like it's nightmare fuel for a... We're really going to be doing this now. I forgot that you could go faster than me. But if you remember, one of the battle items we picked up, it is not here, is the Red Flute, which cures infatuation! I just wanted an excuse to use it, really. I'd normally not use it for any other reason, because she's just going to use Attract on us the next turn anyway. That's a lot of damage! And I'm paralyzed! Which means HCB is probably going to be useless for the rest of this fight, considering she's going to kill me with another Body Slam. And because I'm not a pansy, I'm just going to sit here and take it. And I'll figure out what to do after this, because I enjoy thinking on the fly. Oh, don't you love it when a plan doesn't come together? No, me neither. Let's go, Duster! Because everybody knows when a job isn't big enough for I forgot my entire team is male! I did not think this through very well. I think I'm just going to sit here quietly and wait for an opportunity to chime in when I'm actually not in love with this thing. And in retrospect, I probably should have switched over to Krakow, just to wall it. Oh boy, this is exciting, isn't it? I think I'll just wait for a free turn to switch into Krakow. Would have been nice to use Duster for something, but at the same time, I don't want to risk it being... Actually, Paralysis wouldn't hurt Krakow too much either. I think I will paralyze it just for the sake of it not utterly destroying me in the most embarrassing fashion possible. Possible! There it goes again with the paralysis every time! Oh boy, so much fun! I head into this fight saying nothing but bad things about Whitney and how she's difficult for everybody else, but I'm the exception to the rule. It's not difficult for me, you stupid Lumberry whore. Well, this is going well, isn't it? This is why I intend to split these videos. Although I'll be recording all of them at the same time, it would be just a little bit silly of me to... You're going to use a full restore, ain't you? it'd be just a little silly of me to think I could cram in all 16 of these rematches, especially if they're going to go as long as this one with Attract and Paralysis. Now, normally, if you're up against an opponent that completely walls you, as opposed to just sitting in there and making the battle take 10 minutes, you would actually switch out to something that could potentially harm the thing you're facing. I'd very much appreciate it if you did that, because this is just going to get nowhere fast. Please knock it out. I am not in the mood. I'm really not. Could you just go all the way down to 0? Thank you. Miltank down! Words eaten! Who we got left to deal with? Be a barrel! Do I have anything to hit you with for super effective damage besides electricity? Potentially, yes. I see an excuse, I'm going for it. I don't care if it isn't the doctor-recommended strategy. Be a barrel, the evolved form of Bidoof from the Sinnoh region. Gains the water type when it evolves. So it's normal water type, which is kind of weird. And it's going to be doing this now. Whitney, can we have a heart-to-heart here? Could you stop trying to be a little bitch? I mean, this isn't even that you're difficult to defeat. This is just you being a little bitch. Where you're trying to para-hacks me to death, you're trying to evasion hacks me to death. It's a little bit annoying, not gonna lie. Especially when you know you stand absolutely no chance, but you're still trying to be a little bitch about it. Fake Out we haven't seen before. Normal type move always goes first. I'm not sure if double priority moves like E-Speed would go before Fake Out. I want to say they do. But you can only use it on the turn that you first switch in. Afterwards it would just fail. And that should do it for Whitney, unless Delcatty is actually going to be a no, she's not. That was annoying! Gee, $6,960. Why am I not surprised?